Good morning and welcome to How to Make a Good Cup of Tea. We're going to go over a couple of things today, some of the equipment that you need, a couple common varieties of tea and how to brew them, and also how to best enjoy your perfect cup. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a look at a couple of pieces of equipment you need to brew the perfect cup of tea. So let's start with the tea kettle. The tea kettle is used for heating up water to brew your tea, and they commonly come in both stovetop and electric varieties. In my case, I have an electric tea kettle, purchased quite affordably online, and it gets the job done. It's nothing fancy, it doesn't have an integrated thermometer, but it's more than good enough for the task. The second piece of equipment we have is our teacup, along with loose leaf strainer, and this is used for brewing loose leaf teas. Our third piece of equipment we have is our teapot, and this is used for brewing an entire pot of tea, and notably, the strainer also fits inside of the pot so you can brew a larger batch. Also important is a measuring device. In my case, a simple teaspoon, which is the most common unit of measurement when brewing tea, believe it or not. In terms of actual tea, there's plenty of variety. With me today, we have the white dragon pearl jasmine, the black golden monkey, the black kimun, the black wild Buddha, and a oolong tea called milky oolong. Now, the type of tea is mostly determined by the type of leaves used as well as the preparation. In the case of the milky oolong, this is actually fermented with lactose and it gives it a very distinctive flavor. Now let's get into the preparation. So there's a couple important things to note. Most importantly, the quantity of tea you use and the temperature it's brewed at, and this can have a large impact on the flavor of the tea. For most reputable tea vendors, if you look on their website or pictured on the actual packaging, it will tell you how much tea you need per serving, as well as what temperature and time to steep it for. Take a look and see if you can find the brewing information on your tea. If not, here's a general rule of thumb. Black teas, they take a full rolling boil and they brew for about 3 to 5 minutes. Green teas, they take steaming but not boiling water, and those brew for about 3 minutes. And white teas, it's more or less the same. Herbal teas, they also get full boil, 212 degrees, and those go for about 5 minutes. So let's get started with our brew. My kettle does not have an integrated thermometer, so I have to gauge the temperature just based on sight, but there's a couple easy rules of thumb you can follow. A rolling boil, of course, is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Almost boiling is about 195. Vigorously steaming is about 170 to about 180. Those bands will hopefully get you in the ballpark of where you need to be for that tea, but you may want to invest in a kettle with a thermometer or just use an external one. So let's go ahead and get started. This morning I'm going to brew a cup of golden monkey. Now this is a black tea, and on the package it says 1 teaspoon per cup of tea desired, and to use 212 degree water. So let's go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and boil your own water while we wait. Make sure to read the package to figure out the correct temperature. They say a watched pot never boils, and I'm about to prove you wrong. So right about now, I've just noticed the kettle has begun to steam. So after about 10 more seconds or so, I would take it off, and this is about good for a green or white tea. We are now almost at a rolling boil, so this is ideal for an oolong tea. And there we go, we're done. 212 degrees, perfect for our cup of black. So now that we've got our water boiled, let's go ahead and get started with the loose leaf. The leaves have a beautiful little golden keef on them. It smells delicious before it's even brewed, and it looks even better. So again, just per the instructions, I'll get 1 teaspoon and put it in my strainer. Now we'll go ahead and add the water and start a 5-minute timer. Now while we're waiting for this tea to brew, write down a couple of important characteristics you think that we should keep a lookout for when tasting this tea. So now that we're done steeping our tea, let's go ahead and start enjoying it. Something I like to do is take a look at how the leaves have changed in size and color after steeping. Some teas like dragon pearl jasmine, the leaves undergo a fairly unique transformation when they're steeped, something you'll have to experience yourself. Before we get started tasting, there's a couple of things I want to highlight. I like to pay attention to the aroma of the tea, the taste and how it feels on my tongue, and then the aftertaste. Start by taking a nice deep inhale of your tea. through the nose with slightly pursed lips and try to note any complex flavors or scents that you're getting from it. Next, you can go ahead and taste it. Try to pay particular attention to how it feels on your tongue and where you feel that taste activating. Is it more in the front of your mouth? Is it more in your back? These are all just characteristics to take a look for. After you swallow and exhale through the nose, also helps get a lot of those flavors back up into your olfactory senses. And again, this is just something to take a look for. All teas are different. Delicious. I should note that you're more than welcome to add cream or sugar to the tea for your taste. And again, inhale through the nose. How does it smell? Does it smell sweet? A taste, paying attention to how it feels on your tongue and what flavors you're tasting. And then the exhale. Hot. If you want to develop a more refined palate for teas, it often helps to write down what it is you're tasting. Write down how long you brewed it for, how much you used, and then talk about what you smell, what the leaves look like. Talk about what it tastes like, where do you feel it activating on your tongue, what flavors are present, and then of course talk about the finish, the exhale, what other flavors do you detect now. Delicious. Thank you for your time. I hope that you did enjoy yourself, and even if you didn't, I hope you learned something. If nothing else, I hope you feel inspired to go out there and try a few different new types of tea. I think you'll find it a very rewarding experience. Thank you.